Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me today. I'm Lorna Schumann with the Illinois State Museum, and today we're going to talk about biomimicry and human invention. So what is biomimicry? Have any of you heard about it? Have you ever seen something that a bird or an animal does and you want to copy it? That is, in a way, biomimicry. So biomimicry is really about solving a problem using nature's examples and identifying parts of things that animals do that we could adapt or use to help us solve things. For example, fins helped us create flippers. Burrs are like Velcro. So today we're going to look at an Illinois animal and see what we might do that could help us solve a problem. Today we're going to focus on birds and how they fly. What do you think might help us from birds regarding their ability to fly? Well, let's talk with Dr. Meredith Mahoney, who's a curator here of zoology at the museum. Hi, Meredith.
Hi, Lorna.
How are you today?
Doing all right. How are you?
Well, great. Hey, can you tell us a little bit about birds and their flight to help us really understand what we might be able to use from them to help us solve a problem?
Sure. Birds have a lot of really interesting things related to flight that people could look at and learn from. For example, bird bones. Their bones are thin and hollow, but they're also very strong. So this is part of making sure that they're very lightweight when they're flying. Birds also have feathers over their entire bodies, also on their wings and on their tails. The body feathers make their body really smooth when they're flying, and it also gives them insulation and protection. The wing and the tail feathers are used in the flight aspect, so the wings for making power when they flap and also for changing directions. The tail feathers are also used in maneuvering, which means changing directions when they're flying. There are also different shapes of wings in birds, and those are related to where they live and how they fly. So some kinds of birds need to take off really fast, and they need to fly around and avoid objects, like in a forest. So birds like that might be woodpeckers or robins and sparrows. They have kind of rounded off kind of wings, broad but rounded. That helps them move around. Other kinds of wings on birds that live in open grassland areas are really long, and the feathers at the end kind of spread out like fingers. That's like in eagles and in hawks, and they use those big wings to help them soar and glide over the grasslands. There's also birds that are really fast flyers. They have long, skinny wings with really pointy ends. Birds like that include falcons and ducks and geese. Owls have a special kind of feathers, and this allows them to be really quiet when they fly. So owls like a barred owl that we have here, their wing feathers are fringed at the edge like a shawl instead of being straight. So when the air goes over them, it doesn't make so much noise. They also have really soft feathers on their body that also absorb noises, and they have really big, broad wings. And that means they can glide and soar, and they don't have to flap too much. And that's another way that they don't make so much noise when they're out flying.
Meredith, that is so fascinating. Thank you so much. That gives me some ideas of what we might be able to adapt or take from birds to change some things that we have. Can you think of any other ways that birds and their bones or their feathers might help us learn about flight and how we might be able to copy or biomimic some of the things that they do? Thanks for joining us.